Hello all, welcome to this session. In this session, I am going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, can we assign object of an array list to a variable of list in Java? Let me answer. First of all, the straightforward answer for this question is yes, it is possible in Java to create an object for the array list and assign that object to a variable of list interface, variable that is declared with list interface. Why? Because in Java, under collections framework, we have array list predefined class. Also, we have list predefined interface. And one more thing is that array list predefined class of collections framework is a child class of this list interface. That is, list interface is a parent of this array list predefined class. So when you assign the object of a child class to a variable that is declared with the parent interface, that will be obviously possible in Java. Hence, this is also possible in Java where you can create an object for array list child class and assign it to the variable which is declared with list parent class, parent interface. So let me practically demonstrate how that is possible. So for that, I'll switch to this Eclipse IDE and create a new class. Here I'll write down class, some random name I'll give, class P, let's say. Then here I'll write down, I'll create an object for array list. Okay. Without using list and all, if I have to create an object for the array list, I'll generally do like this. Array list, A list is equal to new array list, where I'm creating an object for the array list. I'm using the new keyword. I'm creating an object for the array list predefined class under collections framework and assigning it to the variable which is declared with the same predefined class, that is ArrayList, which is possible. Pour the mouse of on the ArrayList and import it from java.util package, and you are getting some warning messages so that you have to provide the type of the objects that you would like to store into this ArrayList. Here I'll provide, let's say, integer. Okay, so it's fine. It's working fine because I have created an object for this ArrayList predefined class and assigned to the variable which is declared with the same ArrayList predefined class under collections framework. Right? Now, not all people will write the statement like this. You will see some people writing the code like this. Instead of array list here, they will write down list. Here, list is not a predefined class. It is a predefined interface, and list is a parent interface of this array list child class. Okay. Hover the mouse on this list and import it from java.util package, and you see still it is possible. Create using the new keyword, you are creating an object for the array list predefined class of collections framework and assign it to the variable that is declared with list predefined interface, which is a parent of this array list class, which is obviously possible in Java. And you can do all the stuff that you generally do. Okay. With creating object for array list and assigning to the variable of the array list class. The same thing, whatever you do with the statement, right? Using this object reference, you can do after assigning the object of the array list and assigning to the variable of the variable declared with parent interface list. A list dot add. You see, still you can do all the stuff. So here I'll add some integer object 9. A list dot add of let's say 5. Then I'll say a list dot add of say 7. You can add any objects, any number of objects, and you can print it out without any issues. So run the code and list elements will be printed. I create in this statement, I create an object for the ArrayList child class and assign it to the variable declared with the list parent interface, which is possible in Java. That's why you see the list elements got printed 957. So hence the answer is yes, guys. With practical demonstration, I've answered this question for you. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye bye. Hello all, welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, how to find the size of an array list in Java. Let me answer. In order to find the size of an array list in Java, we have to use a predefined method known as size, using which we can find the size of an array list. Let me practically demonstrate this for you. For that, I'll switch to this Eclipse IDE. Here, I'm going to create a new class with some random name. I'll just select this class and I'll just give some name. Let's say class Q. With main method, I'll create. once this class queue with main method got created inside this, I'm going to create an array list. Array list, a list is equal to new array list. Like this, I'll create an array list and I'll import this array list from java.util package. And here I'll specify less than greater than symbols like this. And inside this, I would like to specify the type of the objects that I would like to store into this array list. Let's say I would like to store integer objects. So integer wrapper class I will specify. So fine, I created the array list which can store integer objects as the elements into this array list. Now I would like to add some elements into this array list by using this object reference and by using a predefined method known as add method. I would like to add integer objects into this array list. Let's say 9 integer object I have added. A list dot add of 7. A list dot add of 5. A list dot add of 8. A list dot add of 6. A list dot add of 1. A list dot add of 4. A list dot add of 3. A list dot add of any other element left. 2, I'll say. Okay, 2. So these are the different objects I have added into this array list. Now, how many objects are there in this array list? How many objects have been assigned to this array list? I would like to find the size of this array list. For that, what I will do is, not to find the size of the array list, I'll use this object reference. And using this object reference of array list class, I'll call a predefined method known as size. By using this size predefined method, we can get the size of this array list or the number of objects that have been assigned to this array list. Okay, the size predefined method of the array list will return you the size of the array list. Okay, it will return in the form of int. So I'll just say int array list size. I'll just give some variable name like array list size and print it out. System.out.println. This array list size I'll provide. Now run the code. Right click, run as Java application, and observe that the size of the array list will be printed. 9 got printed. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 got printed. The size of the array list got printed with the help of size predefined method as shown in this program. So guys, with practical demonstration, I've answered this question for you. That is how to find the size of an array list in Java. Using the size predefined method, we can find the size of an array list in Java. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello all, welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, what is the difference between length predefined variable, length predefined method, and size predefined method in Java? Let me answer. Using the length predefined variable, we can find the size of an array. And coming to the second one, that is length predefined method, we can find the size of a string. And also the last one, using the size predefined method, we can find the size of collections like array list. We can find the size of array list. We can find the size of the hash set. We can find the size of the hash map. Okay. So the difference here is simple. Length predefined variable for finding the size of the arrays. Length predefined method for finding the size of the string. Size predefined method for finding the size of the collections. Okay, that's the difference, guys. Let me practically demonstrate this for you. For that, I'll switch to this Eclipse IDE and create a new class here. I'll just randomly name this class as, let's say, class R with some main method. Inside this main method, let's create an array. Integer array AR is equal to new integer array, or instead of giving like this, I'll give the shortcut representation of the array like this: 9, 5, 1, 7, 8, 6, 6, 2, 4, 3. Okay, like that some elements I gave. Okay, so I have stored some. Now, if I want to find the size of this array, there is a predefined variable in Java known as length predefined variable that I can call with the help of this object reference of this integer array or whatever the array, ar dot length. This will give you the size. Length predefined variable of the arrays will give you the size of the arrays. So int array size is equal to, that's it. Okay. Now print it out, system.out.println array size. You see length predefined variable will find the size of this array, guys. Run the code and observe that the size of the array will be printed in the output, that is 9 got printed. Let's find it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Total 9. Size of the array 9 got printed in the output. Okay. So this is how we can find the size of the array using length predefined variable. And coming to the next one, that is length predefined method, using which we can find the size of a string. So here I'll say string name is equal to Arun Motori. I'll give my name, my full name, and I would like to find the size of this string text. So for that, I'll simply say name dot length. I'll call it is a length predefined method. Okay, this is the length predefined method. Hold the mouse on this and say it is returning you int int. I'll say uh, string size. Okay, string size. Here I'm not using length predefined variable. I am using the length predefined method to find the size of this particular string text. I'll print it out system.out.println. String size I will say. String size I will say, and see in the output. Run the code and see in the output. We got 12. Okay, 12 is the size we got. So let's find it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, including spaces 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Total 12. 12 is the size of the string text, and we have to find the size of string text with the help of the length predefined method. Okay, whereas length predefined variable for finding the size of the array, length predefined method for finding the size of the string text, and the third one is the size predefined method. Okay, we now have the third one, that is the size predefined method to find the size of collections like ArrayList, hashset, hashmap, etc. So first, I'll take one of them. I'll not take everything. I'll take ArrayList, let's say. I'll show you one of these collections I will take like ArrayList and show you how to find the size of that ArrayList. Okay, I'll just create an ArrayList. A list is equal to new ArrayList. And I'll import this. I can say Control Shift O, or I can hover the mouse and say create import ArrayList from java.util package. Here warning messages are coming. Just provide less than greater than symbols to specify the type of the objects that you would like to store into this array list. So I'll say integer object I would like to store. Now into this array list, I would like to add some elements. The array list dot add of let's say 9. Array list dot add of let's say 5. For sample, I'll add only 3 elements. Okay, 7. Now I would like to find the size of the array list. That is how many objects are assigned to this array list or stored in this array list. I would like to find. For that, to find the size of the array list, we have to use size predefined method. So the name of the array list dot size predefined method I have to call here. I should not be using length predefined variable or length predefined method here. Instead, I have to use size predefined method here, and this will get you the size of this array list. Okay, int array list size I'll say, and I'll just print it out. System.out.println, system.out.println array list size. Okay, like this. Now run the code and observe that the size of the array list will be printed. That is 3 should be printed in the output. You see 3 got printed. The size of the array is 9. Total 9 elements are there. The size of the string text is 12. Total 12 is there. Then the size of this array list is 3. With the help of the size predefined method, we found it out. So hope guys, with practical demonstration, I've answered this question for you. That is, what is the difference between length predefined variable, length predefined method, and size predefined method in Java? Length predefined variable can be used for finding the size of the array. Length predefined method in Java can be used for finding the size of a string text, whereas size predefined method can be used in Java for finding the size of the collections like ArrayList, hashset, hashmap, etc. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello all. Welcome to this session. In this session, I am going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is collection a class or interface in Java? Let me answer. Collection is a predefined interface in Java. So let me prove you that in multiple ways. First way, I would like to prove you that collection in Java is a interface. It's not a class. For that, I'll take you to a website. I just need to open a browser and say Java 8 API documentation. Okay. Any version documentation you can go, guys. It may be Java 8, Java 17, Java 21. It's up to you. Just click on that. And once you reach the documentation of this Java, Control F, just press Control F. Here, search for collection. Okay, I got 9 items, one of 9 items. Just click on this down button until you get this collection. Okay. As you can see, this collection is a predefined interface. Collection is a predefined interface in Java. This proves that collection is a predefined interface in Java. It's not a class. The other way that I can prove you that collection is not a class, instead it is a predefined interface in Java is that, as we know in Java that for interfaces, we cannot create objects. If you try to create an object for collection interface in the programs, you will get a compiler error saying that you cannot instantiate such kind of interfaces. For that, switch to Eclipse IDE and here create a new class. In that class, try to create an object for the interface, which won't be possible. You will get a compiler error. I'll just give some random name for the class. Class S with main method. Inside the main method, I'm going to, I'll try to create an object for collection interface, which is not possible in Java. In Java, you cannot create objects for collections. Okay, collection is equal to new collection. If I try to create an object for collection, and if you import this collection from java.util package, you will get an error here saying cannot instantiate the type collection. That instantiation means, instance means object. Cannot create object for the type collection. Okay. This is not possible in Java. Okay. It's not possible in Java. Okay. It's not possible in Java to create an object for the collection. This is not possible in Java, guys. I'll comment it out. Okay. So for collection, we cannot create a class. Why? Because collection is not a predefined class. It's a predefined interface in Java. So from the documentation, I proved you that collection is a predefined interface in Java, and also in the Java programs, when I try to create an object for the collection, it's saying that cannot instantiate. That means you cannot create an object for the collection interface. Hence, collection is a predefined interface in Java. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello all, welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, how to find the size of a hash map in Java. Let me answer. First of all, hash map is one of the predefined classes under collections framework in Java. To find the size of hash map in Java, we have to use a predefined method known as size predefined method, using which we can find the size of the hash map collection in Java. Let me practically demonstrate this one for you. For that, I'll switch to this Eclipse IDE. Here, I'm going to create a new class. I'll just give some random name for the class. And with some main method, I'll create. And inside this main method, I'm going to create a hash map. Hash map, hmap is equal to new hash map. Like that, I'll create an object for this predefined class in Java known as hash map. So you can say Control-Shift-O, it will get imported, or you can hover the mouse on this hash map and import this from java.util package. Now, there are some warning messages coming. So we have to specify here some less than and greater than symbols beside this hash map predefined class. And inside this less than greater than symbol, we have to provide the type of the key object and the type of the value object. Okay. Two items will be there here. Okay. Unlike ArrayList has said, right? Here hashmap will contain two elements, key object and value object. Okay. So let's say the key object I would like to have as a string and value object I would like to have as object. Okay. So object means it can store anything. String means only string literals it can store. It cannot store other stuff. Okay. So like that I will create, and here I'll say hash map dot. There is a method known as put method, using which we can add the elements to this hash map. Here I need to specify the key, which is of string type. So in string literals, I'll provide name. And here the value object is object type. I can provide here integer, double, character, boolean, anything I can provide. So here in this case for name, I'll provide Arun Muturi, which is a string literal only. It can accept because it's object. Object can accept anything. Then hash map dot put off. Here I'll write down name, experience, let's say. So let's say I have 17 years of experience. So I'll put 17 here. The 17 can be accepted by object. 17 is a number. It's a string literal. It's a number. It can be accessed by object. Okay. Hash map dot put off. I'll say location. I'll say location. And here Hyderabad. I'll say okay. Then hash map dot put off. Occupation. If I talk about occupation, I'll say it as trainer. Okay. Then hash map dot put off work status, working. I'll give a Boolean value for the working, like I'm not working anywhere. Okay. So I'll just write down false, false Boolean value. You see, you can store any type of values here, but key should be in string literal type because string type, but value should be of object type. It can store string literals, integer, Boolean, character, anything. Okay. So I have added some objects to this hash map in key value pairs. Okay. And now I would like to find the size of this hash map. In order to find the size of the hash map, I have to use a predefined method known as size predefined method. Using the object reference of the hash map, I'll call that method dot size. Okay. And it will get you the size of the hash map in the integer format. You see the return type is int. So here I'll say hmap size is equal to, and hold the mouse on this and say create local variable. It will get the size of the, it will declare this hmap with the return type of size, which is int type. I would like to print the size of the hashmap. System.out.println hashmap size. It should print the size of the hashmap. So right click run as Java application and we'll get the size as 5. Why? Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, total 5 key value pairs are stored into this hash map. So the size of the hash map is 5. So with practical demonstration, I've answered this question for you. That is how to find the size of hash map in Java using size predefined method. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello all. Welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, explain the usage of asList predefined static method of arrays class in Java. Let me answer. Using arrays.asList predefined method, we can convert an array to a list in Java. Let me practically demonstrate how to use this asList predefined method of arrays class to convert an array to a list. For that, I'll switch to Eclipse IDE and create a new class. I'll just randomly name this class as class T, and I'll create a main method. I think T is already there. I'll say U. Click on finish. The class will be created. And inside this main method, okay, first I would like to create an integer array. Okay, a primitive data type integer array, say AR is equal to, I'll create a shortcut representation for initializing this array with these values 9, 1, 5, 7. Okay, the values got assigned. Fine. Now, can I directly convert this int primitive data type array to the list? The answer is no, guys. Using this arrays.asList, okay, using this arrays predefined class dot asList, here I cannot pass this integer array, primitive data type array I cannot pass and convert properly. So what I have to do before that is, first I have to convert this primitive data type array to the associated wrapper class object-oriented type array. To make that happen, we have to write this statement, arrays.streams, arrays.stream. Stream we have to use, stream method. Inside the stream method, we have to pass this array and say dot boxed, then dot to array, and put a semicolon here. Inside this to array, what you want to convert this integer array to? Wrapper class, associated wrapper class, integer object oriented array. That integer array you specify here, the resultant one, provide double colons and say new. And the resultant of this particular thing is it will return you an integer array now. Okay, I'll say IAR, the return type of this to array will be automatically coming in Eclipse ID. When you say create local variable, you see integer array. Now we successfully converted integer int primitive data type array to the integer wrapper class array. Now this wrapper class array, you can pass to this asList static predefined method of arrays class, where this will convert this array to a list. You see the return type will be list of integer. Okay. So here I'll say list for the mouse create local variable. You see, it got converted. So in order to convert an integer array to a list, we have to use asList predefined method of arrays class in Java, but it will not happen directly. First, we have to convert the int primitive data type array to the wrapper class array type. Okay. And then we have to convert that into the list. Now print it out system.out.println, system.out.println list, and run the code. Right click, run as Java application. Once you run the code, you'll see that the converted list, array to list converted. Okay. Once array got converted to list, that list got printed in the output like this. Okay. So hope guys, with practical demonstration, I've answered how to use, or what I've explained, what is the usage of arrays dot as list predefined method, which is predefined static method of arrays class. That's why as list method can be called with the help of the class name arrays dot. I don't have to create an object reference for arrays class. Directly using the class name, I'm calling this method means this is a static method of this arrays class, static predefined method of the arrays class. Okay. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello all, welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, write a program to print array list elements using for loop in Java. Let me answer. In order to print the array list elements using the for loop in Java, we have to take the help of indexing concept of array list. At same time, we have to find the size of the array list. By doing these two things and by combining these two things with for loop, we can easily retrieve and print the array list elements using for loop in Java. Let me practically demonstrate this for you. First, I'll show you without for loop how to retrieve and print the array list elements, and with the help of for loop, how the for loop is making it better and easy. I'll show you. For that, I'll switch to the Eclipse ID and create a new class. I'll just name this class as class V with main method. Inside the main method, create an object for array list. Array list, A list is equal to new array list. Pour the mouse on the array list and import this array list from java.util package. And now provide less than greater than symbol here. Okay. And here provide integer or whatever you want. Okay. The type of objects you want to store into this array list. Now add some integer objects to this array list. So a list dot add of 9. Then a list dot add of 5. Then a list dot add of 7. Then a list dot add of 8. Like that, I can add any number of elements. Let's say 2. Then a list dot add of 4. Then a list dot add of 3. Then a list dot add of 1. Okay. Then a list dot add of 6. Like this, many elements I have added. Now I would like to retrieve and print all these integer objects that are assigned to this array list, or I would like to retrieve and print all these elements of this array list. If I don't use for loop, instead if I use traditional way by using print statement and here writing a list dot get off, here the first value or object is stored at the index 0, the second object is stored at the index 1, and so on, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. Okay. So if I give 0 here, 9 will be retrieved and printed. Okay. So if I give system.out.println, AList.get of 1, if I say 5 will be retrieved and printed. If I give here the index of this third element is 2. So if I give system.out.println, AList.get of 2, if I give 7 will be retrieved and printed. Then if I give system.out.println, AList.get of 3. Okay. 8 will be retrieved and printed. If I say 4, this is fifth index. This is sixth index. This is seventh index. Without using for loop, this much of hard work I need to do. For every element to be retrieved and printed, you see, I have to use alist.get command and 2, 3, 4, system.out.println, alist.get of 5, then system.out.println, alist.get of 6, then system.out.println, alist.get of 7, then system.out.println, alist.get of 8. Like that, many print statements and many alist.get statements have to write if I'm not using the for loop. If I run the code, all the elements of this array list starting from 9 to 6 will be printed in the output console. 9, 5, 7, 8, 2, 4, 3, 1, 6. You see 9, 5, 7, 8, 2, 4, 3, 1, 6. It got printed as it is. Instead of writing this all the print statements, I can use for loop. How? For I'll say int I is equal to 0. Let's say I stands for index. You can give any other variable name instead of I also, but I generally represents an index, right? So I starts from 0. 0 is the index here you are giving. I less than, okay? I less than, this one is what? 8. The size of this array list is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Total 9 are there. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Total size is 9. But index is up to 8 only. So I have to give up to I less than or equal to 8 or I less than 9 I have to give. If I give I less than 9, it will go up to 0 to 8. That will become 9 elements. So how to get the size of this array list? A list dot, there's a predefined method known as size, using which we can get the size of the array list. So A list dot size will return you 9, which is I less than 9 means up to 8 it will, the for loop will iterate. From 0 to 8 it will iterate. If I say I less than 9 means from 0, starting from I is equal to 0 to I less than 9, that is up to 8 it will iterate. Then I plus plus I will say. Then here I'll write the print statement system.out.println a list dot get of. Here instead of giving 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and all those stuff, I'll give I guys. Okay, I'll give the I value. So how this for loop will iterate? Initially I value will be 0, 0 less than 9. The size of the array list is 9, so 0 less than 9 is true. We'll go inside a list dot get of 0. So 9 will be printed. I will become 1 now. 1 less than 9, get of 1, 5 will be printed. I will become 2, 2 less than 9, get of 2, that is 7 will be printed. I will become 3, 3 less than 9, get of 3, 8 will be printed. I will become 4, 4 less than 9, get of 4, 2 will be printed. 5, 5 less than 9, get of 5, 4, get of 5 is 4 will be printed. I will become 6, 6 less than 9, get of 6 is 3, 3 will be printed. 7, 7 less than 9, get of 7, 1 will be printed. 8, I plus plus will become, I will become 8, 8 less than 9, true, still get of 8, 6 will be printed. Finally, I will become 9, 9 less than 9 is false, will come out of the for loop, sorry. Okay, run the code and observe that all the elements of this array list will be printed as usual. Here you see, I don't have to write a separate print statement for every element that I want to retrieve and print, right? Rather, I can run this code and, get these things printed. So hope guys you got the idea and the answer for this question with practical demonstration. Write a program to print array list elements using for loop in Java. And this is a program, guys. Okay, this is a program that you have to write using the for loop in Java. So I'll copy this for loop code and paste it here so that I will get in the description of this video as in the notes or description of the video. Okay. Sorry, let me align it properly. Okay. So there is a for loop code for printing retrieving and printing the array list elements using Java. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello all, welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, write a program to print array list elements using for loop in Java. Let me answer. In order to print the array list elements using the for loop in Java, we have to take the help of indexing concept of array list. At same time, we have to find the size of the array list. By doing these two things and by combining these two things with for loop, we can easily retrieve and print the array list elements using for loop in Java. Let me practically demonstrate this for you. First, I'll show you without for loop how to retrieve and print the array list elements, and with the help of for loop, how the for loop is making it better and easy. I'll show you. For that, I'll switch to the Eclipse IDE and create a new class. I'll just name this class as class V with main method. Inside the main method, create an object for array list. Array list, A list is equal to new array list. Pour the mouse on the array list and import this array list from java.util package. And now provide less than greater than symbol here. Okay. And here provide integer or whatever you want. Okay. The type of objects you want to store into this array list. Now add some integer objects to this array list. So a list dot add of 9. Then a list dot add of 5. Then a list dot add of 7. Then a list dot add of 8. Like that, I can add any number of elements. Let's say 2. Then a list dot add of 4. Then a list dot add of 3. Then a list dot add of 1. Okay. Then a list dot add of 6. Like this, many elements I have added. Now I would like to retrieve and print all these integer objects that are assigned to this array list, or I would like to retrieve and print all these elements of this array list. If I don't use for loop, instead if I use traditional way by using print statement and here writing a list dot get off, here the first value or object is stored at the index 0. The second object is stored at the index 1 and so on, right? 2, 3, 4, 5 like that, okay? So if I give 0 here, 9 will be retrieved and printed, okay? So if I give system.out.println, a list dot get off 1, if I say 5 will be retrieved and printed. If I give here the index of this third element is 2. So if I give system.out.println, a list dot get off 2, if I give 7 will be retrieved and printed. Then if I give system.out.println, a list dot get off 3, okay? 8 will be retrieved and printed. If I say 4, this is 5th index, this is 6th index, this is 7th index. Without using for loop, this much of hard work I need to do. For every element to be retrieved and printed, you see I have to use alist.get command and 2, 3, 4, system.out.println, alist.get of 5, then system.out.println, alist.get of 6, then system.out.println, alist.get of 7, then system.out.println, alist.get of 8. Like that, many print statements and many alist.get statements have to write if I'm not using the for loop. If I run the code, all the elements of this array list starting from 9 to 6 will be printed in the output console. 9, 5, 7, 8, 2, 4, 3, 1, 6. You see 9, 5, 7, 8, 2, 4, 3, 1, 6. It got printed as it is. Instead of writing this all the print statements, I can use for loop. How? For I'll say int I is equal to 0. Let's say I stands for index. You can give any other variable name instead of I also, but I generally represents an index, right? So I starts from 0. 0 is the index here you are giving. I less than, okay? I less than, this one is what? 8. The size of this array list is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Total 9 are there. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Total size is 9. But index is up to 8 only. So I have to give up to I less than or equal to 8 or I less than 9 I have to give. If I give I less than 9, it will go up to 0 to 8. That will become 9 elements. So how to get the size of this array list? A list dot, there's a predefined method known as size, using which we can get the size of the array list. So a list dot size will return you 9, which is I less than 9 means up to 8 it will, the for loop will iterate. From 0 to 8 it will iterate. If I say I less than 9 means from 0, starting from I is equal to 0 to I less than 9, that is up to 8 it will iterate. Then I plus plus I will say. Then here I'll write the print statement system dot out dot println a list dot get of. Here, instead of giving 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and all those stuff, I'll give I guys. Okay, I'll give the I value. So how this for loop will iterate? Initially, I value will be 0, 0 less than 9. The size of the array list is 9. So 0 less than 9 is true. We'll go inside a list dot get of 0. So 9 will be printed. I will become 1 now. 1 less than 9. Get of 1. 5 will be printed. I will become 2. 2 less than 9. Get of 2, that is 7 will be printed. I will become 3, 3 less than 9, get of 3, 8 will be printed. I will become 4, 4 less than 9, get of 4, 2 will be printed. 5, 5 less than 9, get of 5, 4, get of 5 is 4 will be printed. I will become 6, 6 less than 9, get of 6 is 3, 3 will be printed. 7, 7 less than 9, get of 7, 1 will be printed. 8, I plus plus will become, I will become 8, 8 less than 9, true, still, get off 8, 6 will be printed, finally I will become 9, 9 less than 9 is false, will come out of the for loop, sorry, okay. Run the code and observe that all the elements of this array list will be printed as usual. Here you see, I don't have to write a separate print statement for every element that I want to retrieve and print, right? Rather, I can run this code and, get these things printed. So hope guys, you got the idea and the answer for this question with practical demonstration. Write a program to print array list elements using for loop in Java. And this is a program, guys. Okay, this is a program that you have to write using the for loop in Java. So I'll copy this for loop code and paste it here so that I will get in the description of this video as in the notes or description of the video. Okay. Sorry, let me align it properly. Okay. So there is a for loop code for retrieving and printing the array list elements using Java. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye bye. Hello all. Welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is ArrayList a class or interface in Java? Let me answer. ArrayList is a predefined class in Java. It's not an interface. When coming to the parent of this array list, we have a list interface, and the parent of the list interface, we have collection interface. But array list is a predefined class under collections framework in Java. Let me practically demonstrate this for you. Before actually practically demonstrate, let me take you to the documentation of Java. You can go to any documentation like Java 8 or Java 21, okay, JDK documentation, okay. Documentation. You can give any number and just type that, guys. Okay, you'll get the API documentation of that particular version. Whatever the latest that is working, or you can go to the old one, whatever, doesn't matter. Just click on that. You'll be taken to the, this is not the one, guys. Just go back. It's an API documentation. You should see API word here. Just go there to the API documentation, and here search for that particular class. Just select this class here. I'm not able to select that class. That's okay. But here search for that. Index. What is mean by index? Here a lot of index is there. Go back. Overview only will be there. And let's search for that. Okay. So what I would like to search for that is array list, right? Array list. Okay. You see java.util, under the util package, we have this array list. Select that. You'll be taken to that particular page where you can see that array list is a predefined class in Java. Okay. Array list is a predefined class in Java. and the parent of this ArrayList class. Parent interface of this ArrayList class is list interface, and the parent of the list interface is a collection interface. Like that, many things are there. Okay, if you go to the list interface, again we have the parent as a collection interface and all those stuff. You see collection interface, super interface kind of stuff. Okay, fine. Anyhow, just to answer this question, is ArrayList a class or interface in Java? It's a predefined class in Java as shown in the documentation. And for any particular class, whether it is a user-defined class or predefined class in Java, you should be able to create an object. But for interfaces, you cannot create object, guys. For the predefined classes, you can create the, for predefined classes, you can create the objects, or user-defined classes, you can create the objects. But for interfaces, you cannot create objects. For list interface or collection interface, you cannot create object. But for ArrayList, which is a predefined class, you can create an object. That also proves that ArrayList is a predefined class in Java. Okay, right-click new class. I'll just name this with some random name, W, class W, with main method I'll create. And after that, here, I'll create an object for the ArrayList. AList is equal to new ArrayList. ArrayList, AList is equal to new ArrayList. Import this ArrayList from java.util package. And here provide less than greater than symbols. They provide less than greater than symbol, less than greater than symbol. And hover the mouse on this. You cannot, you're not getting any error. Here, try to provide any type of object. Let's say integer. You see, using the new keyword, I'm able to create an object for the ArrayList predefined class. This proves that ArrayList is a predefined class in Java. It's not an interface. Okay. If you try to create an object for a list, let's say list is equal to new list. If you try to do this, and after importing this list from java.util package, okay, hover the mouse on this and say import it. After that, you see, when you hover that, you see this error will not be gone because cannot instantiate the type list, because list is not a predefined class. It's an interface, predefined interface, which is the parent of the ArrayList. Okay, parent interface of this ArrayList predefined class in Java. This proves that ArrayList is a predefined class in Java. With practical demonstration, I've answered this question for you. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye bye. Hello all, welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, can we assign object of ArrayList class to a variable which is declared with collection interface in Java? The answer is yes. In Java, we can create an object for the ArrayList class and assign that object to the variable that is declared with collection interface. The reason behind that is collection interface is a grandparent interface of ArrayList predefined class under collections framework. Hence, you can create an object for any class in Java and assign that to the variable of either parent classes or parent interfaces, or grandparent classes or grandparent interfaces. Since ArrayList is a grandchild of this collection interface, we can definitely create an object for the ArrayList and assign that to the variable which is declared with grandparent interface, collection interface. So I'm going to practically demonstrate and prove you that. For that, I'll switch to this Eclipse IDE and create a new class here. I'll just name this class with some random name, say class X. And with main method, click on finish. Once this class with the main method is created, inside that, I'm going to create an object for the ArrayList. New ArrayList. Like this, I'll create an object for the ArrayList. I'll import this ArrayList predefined class of collections framework from java.util package. And after that, I'll provide this less than greater than symbols. And here, I have created an object for the ArrayList. Now, I would like to create an object reference. Let's say li is object reference. Now, I would like to declare this object reference not with the ArrayList class. I can do that with ArrayList class like this, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to declare this li with ArrayList. Rather, I want to declare that with, instead of list, you can either declare that with the list, which is a parent interface of ArrayList class, where list is the parent interface of ArrayList class. The object of this ArrayList predefined class can be assigned to the variable of the parent interface like list, or you can also go with the collection interface. Okay, collection is a grandparent. For the list, the parent interface of the list interface is collection interface. Hence, it becomes a parent or grandparent interface of the ArrayList class. So, hope you understood. ArrayList is the child of the list interface, and list interface is the child of the collection interface. Hence, collection becomes the grandparent interface of the ArrayList child class. Okay. Fine. So here I'll import this collection from java.util package. I can do this, guys. I can create an object and assign that object to the variable of the collection interface. I'll provide the less than greater than symbol here. What type of objects I want to store? Let's say integer objects. You see, the error is gone and the statement is obviously possible. That means we can create an object for the grandchild class ArrayList and assign that to the variable of the grand parent interface collection interface in Java without any problem. The answer is hence yes for this question. Okay, with practical demonstration, I've answered this question for you. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye bye. Hello all, welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is how to find the size of hash set in Java. Let me answer. In order to find the number of objects that got assigned or initialized to this hash set predefined class of collections framework, we have to use a predefined method known as size predefined method. Using this size predefined method, we can find the size of the hash set. That is, how many elements or objects are assigned to this hash set we can find. Let me practically demonstrate this for you. For that, I'll switch to Eclipse IDE and create a new class. I'll just name this class with some random name. Let's say class Y with main method. Once that is created, inside the main method, I'll create a hash set first. Hash set is equal to new asset. Like this, I'll create an object for the asset predefined class from collections framework. I'll import this asset from java.util package. Can provide less than greater than symbols here to overcome that warning messages. Here, what type of objects I would like to store? Let's say integer objects. And here to add the elements or objects to this hash set, integer objects to this hash set, I have to use this add method and I'll add some integer objects. Set dot add of let's say 5, set dot add of let's say 7, set dot add of let's say 8. Okay, set dot add of let's say 1, set dot add of let's say 6, set dot add of let's say 4, set dot add of let's say 3. Like this, I can keep on adding as many number of objects to this asset as possible. But now the time has come for me to find the size of this asset. So I have to take this object reference set is object reference of this asset class, and I have to call a method known as size method. Size predefined method I have to call. This size predefined method will return you the integer data type value, which is nothing but the size of the asset. That is how many objects are stored into this asset, are initialized into this asset, or assigned to this asset. Okay. So h set size I will say is equal to, and I'll create a local variable, and I would like to print the size of the asset here. H set size. That's it. Now run the code and observe that the size will be printed. The size got printed as 8. Let's find it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, total 8 objects are there. So the size of the asset got properly printed with the help of this size predefined method. Okay. So we have to use a predefined method known as size predefined method to find the size of the asset predefined class of collections framework in Java. With practical demonstration, I've answered this question for you. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello all, welcome to this session. In this session, I am going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, how to add elements to hash set in Java. Let me answer. Hash set is one of the predefined class under collections framework. And in order to add elements to this hash set, we have to use a predefined method known as add method. Let me practically demonstrate how to use this add method of this hash set predefined class in order to add elements to it. For that, I'll switch to Eclipse IDE and I'm going to create a new class. I'll just give some random name while creating the class. Let's say class Z with main method. And inside the main method, I'm going to create an object for the hash set. Okay. Hash set, h set is equal to new hash set. Like this, I'll create an object for the hash set. And After doing that, I'll import this asset from java.util package. For the mouse here, you'll get this util statement, and here provide less than greater than symbols to overcome these warning messages. And here, which type of objects you want to store into this asset? Let's say I would like to store character. Okay, I'll take character. What's the matter? Okay, character wrapper class objects. Okay, I would like to store into the asset. Now, in order to add objects to this asset, I would write asset dot add of asset dot add of. Let's say I'll add something like this. So here I'll say a asset dot add of. Let's say yes. Then asset dot add of p asset dot add of. Let's say b. Like that, I can add any number of character objects because I mentioned character wrapper class here as a type of the objects that I would like to store into the asset. So here I've used which predefined method? Add predefined method in order to add objects to this asset. I can print it out. System.out.println. It's set. If I say it will print out the asset for me in the output. All these characters will be printed in the output. There are some, maybe just let me do one thing, just close this and, open that. Sometimes there will be some temporary glitches. You see, some extra thing is there, which was not visible for us. The code was right. I have to run it. I've corrected the error and I'm running it. You see, the asset elements got printed. Whatever the elements that we have added to the asset with the help of add predefined method, we were able to print in the output console. So with this practical demonstration, hope you got the answer for this question. That is how to add elements to asset collections framework, one of the class under the collections framework in Java. Using the add predefined method, we can do that. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello all. Welcome to this session. In this session, I am going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is how to add elements to hash map in Java. Let me answer. In order to add elements to hash map, which is one of a predefined class under collections framework in Java, we have to use a predefined method known as put method. Using this put method, we can add elements to the hash map in Java. Let me practically demonstrate this for you. For that, I'll switch to Eclipse IDE, and here I'll create a new class. I'll just name this class with some random name. Let's say class 1. Okay, I'll just give the name as class 1. And with main method, I'm creating. And inside the main method, I'm going to create a hash map first. I'm going to create an object for the hash map. Hash map, hmap is equal to new hash map. Like this, I'll create an object for the hash map and I'll import this hash map from java.util package. And we are getting some warning messages because we have to specify which type of objects you would like to store into this hash map. As we already know, into the hash map, we have to provide objects in the form of key value pairs, key object and object value pair, value object pair we have to give. So key, I would like to give in the string format and value I would like to give in object format, let's say. So hash map string, comma, object, okay? So now, in order to add objects to this hash map or elements to this hash map in key value pairs, I have to use this object reference, that is hmap, the object reference of this hash map created. And we have to use a predefined method known as which method? Put method, which is the answer for this question. In the put, first key should be in string format because we mentioned string here. So double quotes, I'll just give something like name, okay? And the value can be of any type because object can store any type of value objects. So I'll give the value in the string format for now, like I'll just give Arun Motori, which is my name. And then hashmap dot put of, I'll say experience this time. I'll give the experience. And experience, I would like to give in integer object format. Object can store the integer object. So I'll give the experience as 17. Then I would like to give, let's say, current working status. Am I working anywhere? Okay, in any company? The answer is no. So I'll give false. Boolean object I have given here. String object, integer object, Boolean object. Okay. Then hashmap dot put of, you know, I'll say location. I'll give the location as my location, that is Hyderabad. I am from Hyderabad, India. Okay. So fine. These are some objects in the form of key value pairs I've added to the hash map. And to do that, we have to use put predefined method of the hash map. Now let me print out this hash map. So hash map, I'm printing it out with the help of the hash map name or object reference name. Let's see how it will get printed here. You see, hash map will be printed in the output in this format, guys. Okay. So experience is equal to 17, current working status false, name is equal to Arun Moturi, and location is equal to Hyderabad. Okay. Like this, we can use put predefined method to add key value pair objects to this hash map in Java. So hope guys you got the answer for this question. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye bye. Hello all, welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, does ArrayList allow you to add duplicate elements? The answer is yes. In ArrayList, we have a concept known as indexing. That means the first element that you add to this ArrayList will be stored at the index 0. The second element that you add to the ArrayList will be stored at the index 1 and so on. Since there is a indexing concept, even though we add duplicate elements or duplicate objects to this array list, the indexes of those individual elements will differentiate them. Okay. Hence, duplicate elements or objects can be added to the array list without any problem. So let me practically demonstrate this and prove you that. For that, I'll switch to Eclipse IDE and create a new class here. I'll just name this class with some random name. Let's say class 2. I'll just select the main method. It will be auto-generated for us. Inside the main method, I'm going to create an array list. Array list, a list is equal to new array list. Like this, I'll create an object for the array list. I'll import this array list from java.util package. And here warning messages are coming because I need to specify what type of objects you would like to store into this array list. I'll say integer objects for now. Okay. So into this array list, I would like to store integer objects here, less than, greater than symbol we have to provide. That's it. And now to add these elements or objects to this array list, I have to use a method known as add predefined method of the array list. Okay. And here I'll add, let's say 9. Okay. Again, I'll say, okay, one more 9. Then I'll say add 5. Again, I'll say 9. Again, I'll say 9. Say 0. 6. 9. 9. Okay. So like this, lot of elements I have added, guys. You see, but most of the repeated one is you see 9. 9 is duplicate element, right? But will the array list will store this duplicate element 9? You see, 5 is a unique one, 0 is a unique one, 6 is a unique one, but other, let's say, 6 elements are 9. The same 9 is stored into the array list. But will array list will store all these 6 nines? The answer is yes, because the first 9 is at the index 0, the second 9 is at the index 1, the third 9 is at the index 3, fourth 9 is at the index 4, the fifth 9 is at the index 6. Sorry, this one. The fifth 9 is at the index 6, and the This is 7th index, sorry. Okay. And the last 9 is at the index 8. Since the indexes are different, okay, though the element is duplicated, but this 9 is stored at the index 0, this 9 at the index 1, this 9 at the index 3, this 9 at the index 4, this 9 at the index 7, this 9 at the index 8. Because there is a concept known as indexing in array list, the duplicates are allowed to be stored at different indexes. If I print it out in the output, if I print this array list for you, you'll see that in the output, you will see all the duplicate values are considered. Okay. 99, 99, 99. Total 6 nines. You see, they are not rejected by the array list. They are stored in the array list at that appropriate index, 0th index, first index, third, fourth, seventh, eighth, like that. Okay. So with this demonstration, hope you got the answer for this question as yes. Does ArrayList allow you to add duplicate elements? The answer is yes. The reason behind the ArrayList accepting the duplicate elements is indexing concept. Okay. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello all. Welcome to this session. In this session, I am going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, can we print hash map in Java? Let me answer. Yes, in Java, we can print a hash map. So let me practically demonstrate how to print a hash map in Java. For that, I'll switch to Eclipse IDE and create a new class here with some different name or some random name. I'll just name this as class 3. With main method, I'll create. And inside that main method, I'm going to create a hash map first. Okay. Hash map, hmap is equal to new hash map. Like this, I'll create an object for the hash map predefined class in Java. I'll hover the mouse, import this from java.util package, and I'll just provide this less than greater than symbols. And here I'll provide the type of objects that I would like to store, that is key value object pairs, string object, let's say. Okay. Here I'll say hmap.put. You have to use put command to add the elements to this hash map in key value form. The key form is string type. So I'll give something like name, and the value I'll give it as, let's say, Arun Motori. Okay. And similarly, hmap.put of, I'll just say experience. I'll just give the experience as 9. Here, since object, the value, key type is string class type, whereas value type is object class type. So Arun Motori and 9. Okay. So 9 will be taken, string literal will be taken. Anything can be literally taken by object. Okay. Then hmap.put of then location. I'll just give this as Hyderabad. Okay. And after that, hmap.put of give that as let's say working status, current working status. Let's say I'll just give that as false, some Boolean object type false. Okay. So fine, I have added some considerable amount of objects to this hash map. Now, if I have to print this hash map, I just need to print this object reference of the hash map. Okay. So system.out.println, and I just need to print the name of the object reference of this hash map that I created. Okay. Like this. So when I print the object reference of this hash map, okay, you will see that all the objects or elements that you added to the hash map in the key value format will be printed in the output console inside the curly braces. Just see in the output, we can see inside the curly braces, we got all the key value object pairs printed, right? So this proves that we can print hash map in Java. So can we print hash map in Java? The answer is yes, we can print the hash map in Java. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello all. Welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, does hash set allow duplicate elements in Java? That is, can we store duplicate elements into hash set of collections framework in Java? The answer is a bit different, guys. I cannot say either yes or no in this case because you are not going to get any compiler error. Okay. When you try to assign duplicate elements to hash set class, then you are not going to get any compiler error. But what happens internally is hasset will eliminate the duplicates by considering only one out of the duplicates. All the other duplicate elements will be rejected without giving a compiler error. Okay, so only one out of the duplicate elements will be considered. Remaining all duplicate elements, whether you add how many times doesn't matter. It will not give you any compiler error. But when you print the hash set in the output, you will see that only one element of the multiple times given duplicate element will be there in the output. Okay. So with practical demonstration, I want to show you this. Does hash set allow duplicate elements? It will allow without any compiler error, but it will eliminate the duplicates by considering only one, okay, item or element out of the duplicates. That should be your answer. Further, I'll switch to the Eclipse IDE and create a new class, some random name. I'll just name this as class 4, let's say. With main method, I'll create. And inside this, I'm going to create a hash set. Okay, hash set is equal to new hash set. Like this, I'll create an object for the hash set predefined class under collections framework. I'll import this asset from java.util package, and here I'll provide less than greater than symbol to overcome this warning message. And I'll provide here the type of elements I would like to store into the asset. Let's say integer type of elements. So integer object type of elements. So I'll simply say asset dot add method we have in asset to add the elements or objects to the asset. Let's say 9. Asset dot add of again 9. Asset dot add of, let's say let's say 5. Asset dot add of 9 again. Multiple times I'm giving a duplicate object 9 here, as you can see. Add of 0. Asset dot add of 6. Asset dot add of 9. Asset dot add of 9. As you can see here, 9, the element 9 is given almost 6 times. Okay, is added to the hash set almost 6 times in a duplicate way. Here in a hash set, there is no indexing concept in hash set, guys. Okay, so duplicate elements, you'll not get any compiler error. As you can see, when I'm writing this code, am I getting any Java compiler error saying that you are adding some duplicate elements into the hash set? Hash set will not consider the duplicate elements, guys. Okay, I mean, it will not give you compiler error, but no matter how many duplicate elements you will add, it will consider only one element out of all the duplicates. Out of the 6 nines, only 1 9 will be considered. Okay. So coming to this 5, it's anyhow only one time it is there. 0 is only one time, 6 is one time, but 9 is added here 6 times, but only 1 9 will be considered. When you print out that hash set, when you print out that hash set, using this object reference of the hash set, if you run this code, you will see 9 will be accepted only once, okay, without giving any compile. You see 0, 5, 6, 9, that's it. Even though I added 9 6 times, but I got 9 here only one time. The hash set has not given me any compiler error in the Java code, but it has eliminated the other duplicate element 9s. Okay, only 1 9 out of the 6 9s has been considered here. Remain or only one time, so it doesn't matter for it. Okay, so hope guys you got the answer for this question with practical demonstration. Does asset allow duplicate elements to be added? The answer is yes, but it will consider only one without giving any compiler error. That should be your diplomatic answer for this question. Okay, so that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye bye. Hello all, welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, can we convert an array list to hash set in Java? Let me answer. The answer is yes. In Java, we can convert an array list to hash set. In two ways, we can do that. One way is by using this add all method. There's a predefined method known as add all, using which we can convert an array list to hash set in Java. Or we can pass this array list to the constructor of hash set so that an array list will get converted to hash set. So all these two ways I'm going to practically demonstrate for you now. For that, I'll switch to Eclipse IDE and create a new class with some random name, say class 5. I'll create a main method, and inside the main method, I'm going to first create an array list. Here I'm going to create an array list. Array list, a list is equal to new array list like this. I create an object for an array list, and I create an array list. And I'll import this array list from java.util package. And here I have to specify the type of objects I would like to store into this array list. Otherwise, this warning message will not go off. I have to provide less than greater than symbols beside the array list predefined classes. And here I have to specify the type of objects. For example, I would like to store integer objects into this array list. Now let me add some elements or objects to this array list. By using this object reference, I'll call a method known as add method, using which I can add as many number of objects as I want into this array list. AList.add of 9, AList.add of 1, AList.add of 5, AList.add of 7. Like this, I would like to add some elements or objects to the array list. Now, if I print this array list, a list, all these elements that got added to the array list will be printed in the output. As you can see here, you see the array list elements, the array list got printed. All the elements that got added to the array list got printed 9157, right? Now, I would like to convert this array list into hash set. For that, there are two ways. First way, I would like to do with the help of this a predefined method known as add all method. Okay. So for doing that, I'll first create a hash set. Hash set is equal to new hash set. Okay, like this, I have to create an hash set, and here I need to import this hash set from java.util package, and I have to specify the type of objects. It's better you specify the same type of elements or objects that you would like to store into this hash set. Okay, here also specify the less than greater than symbol, and if you want to specify integer here, you can specify also. Now, in order to convert this particular array list having this particular elements into the hash set, I have to simply use this object reference and call a method known as add all method. Okay, into this add all method, I need to pass this array list. That's it. Okay, add all the object reference of the array list. What happens now? The array list elements added to the array list will now be moved into the hash set. Okay, it's not moved, but you're converting an array list to the hash set with the same elements of the array list. Okay, now let me print the hash set. To the hash set, I didn't add any elements so far, but when I pass this array list as a argument of this add all method of this hash set, the array list elements got added to the hash set automatically. So now, if I print this out, this is a way to convert an array list to hash set and use it. Okay, going ahead in the program, there may be some situations in real time where we have to use, we have to convert the array list into hash set and use it. Okay. Now run the code. Observe that you see the converted array list to hash set got printed here. Some random order will come, guys. Generally, the random order will come here. Okay. So you can give more elements to see the difference and all. Like, for example, here give something like 6. Here give something like 8. Okay. So let's run it again to see what happens. Okay. Some random order will come. That's okay. Then here I'll give 3. Here I'll give 2. Now run it. Okay, fine. That's okay. But it got converted, guys. Converted to hash set. If you try to add duplicate elements, you see, in the array list can contain duplicate elements, right? For example, 9 I am giving. And if I run this code, but once this array list gets converted to hash set cannot accept duplicate elements. Here 2 9s are there. When you print the array list, 2 9s will be printed, but in hash set, 2 9s will not be printed. Only 1 9 will be considered. Duplicate will be ignored. Extra duplicate will be ignored. You see, here 9 is there, here 9 is there, but here only 1 9 is there. Okay, that means array list has been successfully converted to hash set by using this add all method. This is the first way, guys. Okay, so what I will do here is I will just comment out this first way of converting array list to hash set. The second way I'm going to show you. Second way, by using the constructor of hash set, we can do that. Constructor of hash set, we can do that. That is, I have to create an object for asset. Here I'll say integer set is equal to new asset and write like this. And the constructor I have to provide. And here inside this constructor, to convert this array list, this is the easiest way, guys. I don't have to call this particular add all method separately, but this is the easiest way. I have to pass this array list object reference to the constructor of this asset so that array list will get converted to asset with the same elements. And here again, duplicates will be ignored and all those stuff. Now print the asset here. Just pass this array list to the constructor of the asset. This is another way, guys. If you don't want to use add all method, you can use this method. Asset, just now run the code. Observe that to get the same output. Okay, we got the same output. These are ArrayList elements where duplicates are possible, but here duplicates are not possible. Only one of the duplicate out of duplicate elements, only one will be considered. Remaining all elements will be ignored. Okay, so this is how we have to write the Java programs to convert an array list to asset. One way is by using this add all predefined method. Other way is by passing the array list name to object reference to the asset constructor. Okay. So hope guys, with practical demonstration, you understood the answer for this question. That is, can we convert an array list to asset in Java? Yes. But how? By using any of these two ways, we can do that. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello all. Welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, can we convert a hash set to an array list in Java? The answer is yes. In Java, we can convert a hash set to an array list. Though both this hash set and array list are predefined classes of collections framework, okay, we can convert hash set to array list to hash set, okay. So in this session or in this question, they are asking us, can we convert a hash set to array list? Obviously, yes, guys, we can convert a hash set to array list. There are two ways to do so. One way is by using this add all predefined method. We can do that, or by passing this hash set to the constructor of the array list while creating the array list. We can also convert a hash set to the array list. Let me practically demonstrate both of these ways for you. For that, I'll switch to this Eclipse IDE and create a new class with some random name. I'll just create a new class. I'll just name this class as class 6, let's say, with main method. And here, I'm going to create a hash set like this. Hash set is equal to new hash set. Like this, I'll create an object for the hash set or create a hash set in Java from collections framework and import this from java.util package. Here I have to provide the type of objects I would like to store into the hash sets. Let's say I would like to store integer objects into the hash set. So I'll say hash set dot add of let's say 9. Asset dot add of let's say 0. Asset dot add of let's say 5. Asset dot add of let's say some 22. Asset dot add of let's say 7. Asset dot add of let's say 4. Set dot add of 6. Set dot add of 53. I can keep on adding as many number of objects I want into the hash set. Okay, let me print out this hash set using its object reference. I print the object reference. The elements added to this particular hash set will be printed in the output. Run as Java application. And in the output, you can see they got printed 0, 4, 5, 53, 22, 6, 7, 9 like that. They got printed. Now I want to convert this hash set to array list. How to convert this hash set to array list? I will add some duplicate values also. They will not be added anyhow. They will be ignored. There is no use of doing that. So anyhow, these are some elements of the hash set. I would like to convert this hash set to array list. That means with the same elements, I would like to create an array list. That means simple terms, I would like to convert hash set to array list. There are two ways, guys. First is by first way. I'll explain the first way. First way by using this add all method. Add all method. There is a method known as add all. And here I need to create an array list. Array list, a list is equal to new array list. And here I'll import this array list from java.util package. less than greater than symbol, less than greater than symbol, I'll write down. And here I'll say integer. Now here, okay, what I will do is, in order to convert this asset to array list with the same elements, I have to use this object reference and call the method known as add all method. To this add all method, I need to pass the asset object reference. So what it will do, it will convert the asset to array list now with the same elements. Now let me print the array list. Array list. Run this. Observe that, you see, this particular asset has been converted to array list here. Okay, I'm able to print the array list and the same elements got printed as it is. Okay, this is the first way of converting a asset to array list. And we have other ways. Or the second way, where we can use a constructor of the array list. Okay, we can pass this asset to the constructor of the array list. Object reference of the asset, we have to pass to the constructor of the array list. The same thing will happen. We don't have to use an extra add-on method for that. Simply create an object for array list. Array list, A list is equal to new array list. Then less than greater than symbols here, and here provide the same type of objects that you have stored into this asset. The same type of objects you store into the array list. Now I'll simply say a list dot, instead of a list dot add all method, I'm not going to use this method anymore. I told you, right? The other way is by using the constructor. So here we have the array list constructor. Inside this array list constructor, I have to pass this asset. That's it. Okay. The moment I pass the object reference of the asset to the array list constructor, the asset will be converted to the array list. Now let me print it out. System.out.println. Simply print out the array list. Now run the code. You see, the asset has been converted to array list. When I print the array list, the same elements got printed. So this is how we can convert a asset to array list. The answer for this question is yes. There are two ways to convert. That is, one way is by using add all method, other way is by using constructor. Can we convert a asset to array list in Java? The answer is yes. With practical demonstration, to answer this question for you. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello all. Welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is list a class or interface in Java? Let me answer. List is a predefined interface in Java. List belongs to collections framework. Under collections framework, we have a predefined interface known as list. It's not a class, it is a predefined interface. So, how to prove you that list is a predefined interface in Java from collections framework? For that, first way is that I'll take you to the this Chrome browser, and where we'll go to one of the documentation, Java API, Java JDK, Java JDK API documentation. Okay, like this, you just Google search. Okay, once you Google search, in the search results, you'll get this link. Okay, you just go with any version, doesn't matter. It may be 11, 17, doesn't matter. Just click on one of the version. And then once you go to this page, in the search box field, here type list. Just type list here. And in the search results, you will get this from util package. You have to select this list from java.util package. Click on that. So as you can see here, list from collections framework is a predefined interface in Java. Okay. So it has a super interface. That means it has a parent interface. That is parent interface of the list interface is collection interface. Okay. And also we have something like this, for this list interface, we have the array list as a child class. Okay. There are some child classes for this list interface. That is array list is one of the child class of the list interface, and we have other stuff also. Okay, we have other stuff also. Okay, so list is a predefined interface. This documentation proves you that list is a predefined interface in Java, it's not a predefined class. The other way for me to prove you that list is a predefined interface in Java is that, okay. So for interfaces in Java, we cannot create objects. If you are able to create an object, that becomes a class. If you are not able to create an object, that means it is an interface. So for a list from collections framework, we cannot create objects. Using the new keyword, if you try to create an object for the list, it will give you a compiler error saying that cannot instantiate. Instantiate means you cannot create object. I'll prove you that by writing the program here. For that, I'll create a new class. I'll just name this class as class 7 with the main method. And inside the main method, I'm going to I'm trying to create an object for the list interface, new list. The moment I try to create an object for this list interface using the new keyword, here I'm already getting a error. First, you see, already I'm getting an error saying list cannot be resolved to a type. Some kind of error is coming. So I'll say list is equal to, again, I'll say list. Okay, list is equal to, hover the mouse on this, import this list from Java util package. And now hover the mouse on this constructor kind of error you are getting, cannot instantiate the type list. That means you cannot create an object for the list because list is a predefined interface. For interfaces in Java, we cannot create objects. This proves that list is a predefined interface in Java. It's not a class, it's a predefined interface in Java. With practical demonstration, I've answered this question for you. Okay. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello all. Welcome to this session. In this session, I am going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, can we use for loop for printing hash set elements? The answer is no. We cannot use for loop in Java for printing the hash set elements because there is no indexing concept. In hash set, there is no indexing concept. If you go for array list, we have an indexing concept. The first element that is added to the array list will be stored at the index 0. The second element added to the array list will be stored at the index 1. But coming to the hash set, there is no such kind of indexing concept. Hence, we cannot use a normal or general for loop with hash set for iterating through the elements. Okay. So then what is the solution? If you still want to iterate through the elements of the hash set and then print them and all, we have to go for other type of loops like for each loop or iterator method and etc. Okay. But we cannot use a normal for loop in Java for iterating and retrieving or printing the hash set element. That is not possible with the normal for loop base. Let me practically demonstrate and show you. For that, I'll switch to this Eclipse IDE and here I'll create a new class. Here I'll create a new class. I'll just name this class as class 8 with main method. Suppose if I go with the array list, not hash set. The question is all about the hash set, but I'm going with the array list first. Okay. As I told you, array list, when I create an array list A list is equal to new array list. When I create an array list and hover the mouse on the array list and import this array list from java.util package, here provide less than greater than symbol, let's say. And here if I provide the integer object, let's say, and if I try to add some elements to this array list, all these elements will be stored according to the index. Okay. So if I say 9 here, this 9 object will be stored at the index 0 because this is an array list. It has indexing concept. So it will, first element will start with the index 0. A list dot add of let's say 5. This will be stored at the index 1. A list dot add of 7. This will be stored at the index 2. Then A list dot add of 22. This will be stored at the index 3. A list dot add of 0. This will be stored at the index 4. A list dot add of let's say 6. This will be stored at the index 5 and so on. You can add as many number of objects or elements to this array list, and array list has an indexing concept. If you have to iterate through these elements of this array list and retrieve them and print them, then we can use a normal for loop like this. Int I is equal to 0. Here 0 means index, let's say. You can give any variable name here. Okay, I'm just giving I less than a list dot, okay, a list dot size, the size of the array list. So the size of the array list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, less than 6. That means up to the index 5. Then because there is an index concept in array list, I can use a normal for loop. Because there is an index concept, I can use a normal for loop here like this. Okay, system dot out dot println a list dot get of index. Here I stands for I is having some index value while it is iterating through this for loop. So if I run this code, all the elements of the array list will be iterated with the help of the normal for loop, because array list has the indexing concept, and they will be iterated, retrieved using the get method, and they can be printed using the print statement in the output like this. But what if I go with this hash set? If I convert this array, if I change this array list to hash set here, let's say hash set, I'll say set here hash set. Okay, I'm not using ArrayList now. I'm using the hash set here. Hash set is another predefined class in collections framework, and I will try to add the elements using the same add method. We have the same add method in hash set to add the elements to the hash set. Okay, but here the problem is there is no indexing concept. I have to remove the indexing. This element we don't know at which location or which position it will be saved. Okay, in the hash set, because there is no indexing concept. Okay, in ArrayList we have indexing concept, but in hash set we don't have the indexing concept. So there is no get method also. Okay, since there is no indexing concept, we don't have get of index concept also. So we cannot use a normal for loop with the hash set. If you have to really iterate through the elements of the hash set, then I cannot go with the normal for loop, because there is no indexing concept for the elements that are added to this hash set. So I have to go with the for each loop, where I have to write like this. Okay, this is not the normal for loop I'm writing. I'm going to use a for each loop, where each and every object here is of integer type. So integer, I'll say I colon the hash set name. Like this, I have to create a for each loop. It's not a normal for loop, because I'm nowhere using the indexing concept. Okay, so here system.out.println, I have to say I, and this is the only way, guys. Or there is another way also. There are some other ways, but we cannot use a normal for loop. Okay, you see 0, 5, 22, 6, 7, 9. The elements of the hash set got retrieved and printed, but it was not possible with the help of the normal for loop. We have to use for each loop for that. Okay, or any other type of loop we have to use. With practical demonstration, we answer this question for you. That the answer is no. Can we use for loop for printing asset elements? The answer is no. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye bye. Hello all. Welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, can we print asset in Java? Let me answer. Asset is one of the predefined classes under collections framework. And coming to the question, can we print asset in Java? Yes, it is possible for us to print asset in Java by using its object reference. While creating a hash set, we'll specify or name some object reference. That object reference, if you provide to the print statement, we can print all the elements of the hash set without any problem. So the answer is yes. With practical demonstration, I'm going to show you how to print a hash set in Java. For that, I'll switch to this Eclipse IDE. And here in Eclipse IDE, I'm going to create a new class. I'll just name this class with some random name. Let's say class 9 with main method. And inside the main method, I'm going to create a hash set. Hash set is equal to new hash set. Like this, I'll create an object or create a hash set. Okay. Provide this less than greater than symbols and import this hash set from java.util package. And here provide the type of objects you would like to store into the hash set. Okay. All good. Now I'd like to add some elements to this hash set using this object reference hash set dot add. By using the object reference, we can call the add method, and we can add as many number of objects like 9, 5, hash set dot add of let's say 7, hash set dot add of let's say 22, hash set dot add of 6. And you can keep on going, guys. Okay. Now, if you want to print this hash set, that is all the elements of this hash set. If you want to print, I'll write the print statement. And inside this print statement, I would have to provide the object reference of this asset, okay, like this, and run the code. The asset will be printed in the output, as you can see now. You see, this is how the elements of the asset or the asset got printed in the output. So the answer is yes. Can we print asset in Java? Yes. With practical demonstration, I've answered this question for you. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello all, welcome to this session. In this session, I am going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, in what order elements will be stored in ArrayList? Let me answer. Elements in ArrayList will be stored in the same order in which they are added to the ArrayList. Okay, let's say you have added one element to the array list. That first element, okay, that is added to the array list will be stored in the first position. The second element added to the array list will be stored in the second position. Third element added to the array list will be stored in the third position. The same order in which you have added the elements to the array list, the same order in which the elements will be stored in the array list. Okay, no changes. There is a concept known as indexing concept in array list, because of which the same order is maintained. Okay, the first element that you add to the array list will be stored at the index 0. The second element you add to the array list will be stored at the index 1. So because of this indexing concept, array list will store the elements in the same order in which they are added to them, okay, or to the array list. Let me practically demonstrate this for you. For that, I'll switch to Eclipse IDE and create a new class. I'll just give some random name for this class. I've right clicked on this package and now I have to create a new class. I'll select new class. I'll just name this class with some random name. Let's say class 10. With main method, I'll create. Inside the main method, I'm going to create an array list. Okay, here I'm going to create an array list like array list. Array list, a list is equal to new array list. Like this, I'll create an object for the array list. Over the mouse on the array list and import this array list from java.util package. Now I have to specify the type of objects I would like to store into this array list by specifying the less than greater than symbols, and between the less than greater than symbols, let's say I would like to specify integer. I would like to store integer objects into this array list. Now I would like to add the elements to the array list. Okay. A list, that is object reference of the array list dot add. And here I would like to add the value 9. A list dot add of, let's say 9, 5. A list dot add of 7. A list dot add of, let's say 1. A list dot add of 6. A list dot add of 0. A list dot add of, let's say 8. Like this, I have added some elements. The order in which I have added these elements to the array list, in the same order they will be stored in the array list, guys, because this element will be stored at the index 0, this one at the index 1, this one at the index 2. Okay, because of the indexing concept, the order in which you are adding the elements to the array list, the same order in which they will be stored into the array list, guys. If I print out this array list, system.out.println, if I print out this array list using the object reference, right click run as Java application, observe that the order in which you have added the elements to the array list, same order they will be printed in the output console. You see, first element is 9. You see, they are stored in 9 is stored in the first position. Fifth, second element 5 added to the array list, it got stored in the second position. 7, third element 7, third position only. Okay, 1, then 6. Same order, you see, the same order in which the elements got stored into the array list. Okay, the order in which you have added the elements to the array list, the same order in which they'll be stored in the array list. Okay, the memory of the array list. So hope guys you got the answer for this question with practical demonstration. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello all. Welcome to this session. In this session, I am going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, in what order elements will be stored in a hash set in Java? Let me answer. In hash set in Java, when you add the elements to it, they will be stored in some random order. The order in which you have added the elements to this hash set will not be preserved. That means there will not be any particular preserved order in which the elements will be stored into the hash set when you add the elements to the hash set. Rather, the elements in the hash set will be stored or saved in a random order. Let me prove you that. For that, let me practically demonstrate with a Java program. For that, I'll switch to this Eclipse IDE and create a new class. Right-click new class. I'll just name this class, let's say class 10, some random name with some main method. I think class 10 is already there. I'll go with 11 then. Click on finish. Some random name I'm giving for the class, and inside that there is a method. In this, I'm going to create an object for the hash set. Okay, I'm going to create an object for the hash set. Hash set hset is equal to new hash set. Like this, I'll create an object for the hash set. I'll import this hash set from java.util package, and here I'll say hash set dot add. Okay, I have to use add method. And here, guys, before adding anything, as you can see here, there are some warning messages coming here. The reason for the warning messages here is we have to specify which type of objects we would like to store into the asset. In between this less than and greater than symbols, I'll specify integer object. Okay, integer object elements I would like to add to this asset. Okay, then let's say dot add of. I'll write like 9. Let's say dot add of 5. Then let's say dot add of let's say 7. Let's say dot add of let's say 1. Then set dot add of 6, set dot add of 22, set dot add of 0, set dot add of 8. You see, this is the order in which I'm adding the objects to this hash set. You see, first 9 is added, then 5 is added, then 7, 1, 6, 22, 0, 8. Like that, you keep on adding some objects like 134. Okay, set dot add of 215. Okay, then set dot add of 99. Like that, lot of objects I'm adding is. Now, if I print this out, if I print this hash set, you will see that the order in which you have added the objects to this hash set, that order will not be preserved. You see, in the first position, you added 9, but 9 may not be in the first position when you print out. Okay, so the random order, these elements that are added to the hash set will not be stored in the same order in which they are added to the hash set. Rather, they will be stored in the hash set in a random order. I'll simply print out this hash set and run the code, so that you will observe that in the output you will observe that all these objects will not be stored in the same order in which they have been added. First you see 0 came, then 1 came, then 99 came. You see first is 9, right? But here 0 is there. Here second is 5, but 1 is there. Then 99. Somewhere here I added 99 in the end. It got added at the third position. Then came 5, which was added to the second position. Now came 6, which was added at the fifth position. Then 22. Then 134, which is last but 2, but here it is there. Then 7 came, the third position one came here. 215, the last but one came here. Okay, then 8, which is there here, came here. And then 9, which is added first, has come last. That means this is a random order, guys. Okay, the elements that are added to this hash set will be stored in a random order. They will not be stored in the same order in which they are added. Rather, they will be stored in the hash set in a random order. When you go to the array list, this elements order will be preserved. The same order in which they are added to the array list, the same order they will be stored in the array list. But coming to the hash set, it's not like that, guys. The elements that are added to the hash set in Java will be stored in random order. Okay. So hope, guys, with practical demonstration, I've answered this question for you. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello all, welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, in what order elements will be stored in a hash map in Java? Let me answer. Elements added to hash map will be stored in random order. Okay, the order in which you have added the elements to the hash map will not be preserved by hash map, guys. Instead, hashmap will store those elements in a random order in its memory. So let me practically demonstrate this. For that, I'll switch to Eclipse IDE and create a new class. I'll just name this class with some random name, say class 12. And with main method, inside that, I'm going to create a hash map first. Inside this main method, I'm going to create a hash map. Hash map, hmap is equal to new hash map. Like this, I'll create an object for the hash map. You already know that hash map will store the objects in the key value pairs. So I have to provide less than greater than symbols here. Either I can press Ctrl Shift O, or I can hover the mouse on this and select import hash map class from java.util package. And here I have to specify the key and value pairs beside this, in between this less than greater than symbols. Key type I will specify as string, and this I specify as object. Okay, so I'll try to store some elements into this hash map, and I'll simply say hash map dot add of okay. Here add method will not be there, put method will be there. Okay, you have to remember that in hash map, in array list and hash set we have add method, but coming to the hash map we have put method to add the elements to the hash map. Okay, so coming to the key, I have to specify in string format. For example, name. Let's say first name. I will give first name, and here the value I'll give it as Arun. Okay, and similarly hash map dot put of, I'll say last name. The key is last name here, and last name, and the value that I would like to store is also in the string format. Since it is object, it can take all the string, integer, and everything. So I'll give my last name. Then hash map dot top. Here I'll give first name is over, last name is over. I'll just give location. Location also in the string format. I'll give it as Hyderabad. And then I'll give my experience hmap dot put off experience, I'll say, which is in string format here. Experience. And I'll give the value as let's say 17 plus years of experience. Okay. So like this, I'll keep on adding as many number of objects I want or elements I want. So I'll add few more things. Hashmap dot here country, I'll say. Country I'll say as India. Okay. I'll say hashmap dot put off. Then I'll say state. State I'll give as uh, Telangana. Okay. Like that, I can keep on adding any number of key value pair as objects as to this hash map. The order in which I have added this key value pairs to this hash map will not be stored in the hash map in the same way. Okay. The order will not be preserved. The order in which we have added this key value pairs to the hash map will not be stored in the same way. If I print it out, if I print this hash map, you will understand the exact order in which this key value pairs got stored in the hash map. It is not the same order in which you have added this key value pairs to the hash map, rather some random order, they will be stored into the hash map. Okay. But that to prove, I have to run this code and output. You will get the output here. First, what you got experience, but here I added first name in the first place. I added first name. First name Arun should come, but here experience is called 17 coming. That I added in the fourth position, but it came in the first position. That means the order in which this particular key value object pairs are getting stored into this hash map is which order? Random order. Okay. Experience 17, state Telangana, first name Arun, last name Moturi. Okay. Location Hyderabad. Like that, different order it is coming. It's not the same order in which I have added the key value object pairs to this hash map. Rather, the hash map will store this key value object pairs in a random order, guys. That's the answer for this question. So with practical demonstration, I've answered this question. Similar to hash map, we have a hash set, which also stores the elements added to it in random order. But only one thing is there in, one thing we have, that is ArrayList. Okay, which will preserve the order, guys. ArrayList will not store the elements in random order. ArrayList will store the elements in the order in which you add the elements to the ArrayList. But coming to the hash set, hash map, right? They will store the elements that are added to the hash map in a random order instead of the order in which they have been added to the hash map. So with practical demonstration, I have answered this question for you. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello all. Welcome to this session. In this session, I am going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, what will happen when you assign duplicate elements to hash set in Java? Let me answer. When you assign duplicate elements to hash set will simply ignore that duplicate elements. It will not give you any compiler error. You will not get any error or compiler error. Instead, the duplicate elements will be ignored and only one out of the duplicate elements will be considered. Okay, let me practically demonstrate this and prove you that hash set will ignore the duplicate elements by considering only one out of the duplicate elements for storing into the hash set, and it will not give you any compiler error. So for that, I'll switch to this Eclipse IDE and create a new class. I'll just name this class with some random name. That is class 13. With main method, I'll create. So inside the main method, I'm going to create hash set. Hash set h set is equal to new hash set. Okay, I'm going to import this hash set from java.util package, and here I need to store the type of objects I can store into this, specify the type of the objects I can store into the hash set, for example, integer object only. So now into this hash set, I would like to add the elements, for example, 9. I would like to add duplicate objects, integer objects. 9 is already added here, but I'm again adding as a duplicate element. Asset dot add of 5. Asset dot add of, okay, again 9. Asset dot add of again 9. Asset dot add of 0. Set dot add of 6. Okay. Like that, I added some elements, guys, to the hash set where this 9 is duplicated like anything. 4 times we added 9 to the same hash set. So are you getting any compiler error? No. What hash set will do is, hash set will ignore the duplicate elements. If already 9 is there, it will ignore the next coming duplicate elements. But 5 is not duplicated, so it will consider it. 0 is not duplicated, it will consider it. 6 is not duplicated, it will consider it. Out of all these elements, how many elements or objects you added? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? Total 7 elements or objects you added. In that, how many duplicates that are ignored? 1, 2, 3. 3 are ignored. 7 minus 3. That is 4. 4 elements will be considered. Okay. If you print this hash set, only one time 9 will be considered into the hash set, and remaining 3 times 9 will not be considered. It will be ignored. Neither error is coming nor it will be considering it. Okay. All the unique values like 506 will be considered anyhow. Okay. So run this. 9506 kind of thing will come. You see, 9506 are considered, where 9, which is duplicately added here, will not be considered, guys. It will be ignored. Neither compiler error will come. So what will happen when you assign duplicate elements to hash set? Hash set will ignore the duplicate elements by considering only one out of the duplicate elements. And coming to the errors, there will not be any compiler error will be displayed in the programs. You will not get anything. But when you run the code, you will see that hash set ignoring the duplicate elements. Okay. So with practical demonstration, I've answered this question for you. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye bye.